Today, we're going to learn how to create a thesis statement for a problem-solution essay, or persuasive research project. All credit to the video and images goes to Jennifer Kuchno, while voice credit goes to Stephen Orth. A problem-solution essay, or text structure, begins by identifying and clarifying the problem to make sure that you show your audience you understand it. Then, typically, one or more solutions are presented and shared with the audience as part of that text structure. The key is to begin with the problem and then move to the solutions. Another important consideration when looking at problem-solution text structures is to understand what a solution is and isn't. For example, some problems have possible solutions, meaning, example here, if I exercise, I will lose weight. So a solution isn't necessarily a guarantee when it's offered that it's going to solve the problem, but it's believed and possible that it could do so. However, sometimes in a problem solution, you present a problem that has no real solution. Instead, what we do is we use things that lessen, treat, mitigate that problem. May not solve it, but in fact, it does make it better or easier for those who are affected by that particular problem. Thesis statements in some applications, especially longer documents, projects, essays, and papers, might be 2 sentences. In general, and for our assignments, it's better to make it one clear, direct sentence. Thesis statement, when you write your full paper, will be the last sentence of the introduction section or introductory paragraph. A thesis statement also is going to have to be a telling statement that's spoken directly. It cannot be a question. In general, there are 2 kinds of thesis statements. First is a stated thesis, which is specific. It's direct. It's going to include details that you're going to mention later on in your work. The second type is an implied thesis. This is general, not direct. A specific stated thesis would be, many families move to the U.S. for freedom, employment opportunities, and education. Again, the stated thesis should be found last sentence of the introductory paragraph. So these 3 items would indicate that our 3 body paragraphs will focus on freedom, employment opportunities, and education in that particular order. By comparison, for an implied or general thesis, there are many reasons why families move to the U.S. In this, because they're not actually stating any kind of reasons, there's no plan. There's no indication as far as what actually is going to happen in what order, what information is going to be provided, other than the fact there's many reasons. The here is, there are many kinds of blank examples of thesis statements tend to be not very helpful for your audience. So you're better off using a specific thesis that's stated directly as opposed to a general implied thesis. One way to plan to create a problem-solution essay or research project thesis, especially a stated thesis, is to use an acronym P for problem, O for overcome, S for solutions or strategies. So the first part of your thesis statement is going to indicate what the problem is or what is the problem precisely. O indicates that there's going to be solutions or the problem can be overcome or solved. Typically, that's going to be used by certain words or verbs in your sentence. Finally, the last part of a thesis sentence in this particular structure or style is going to indicate the 1 or 2 solutions or strategies. No explanations provided. Again, it's a single sentence, not a run-on sentence, not a stringy sentence, not an overloaded sentence. It's a direct statement sentence that indicates what those 2 solutions or 3 or 1 strategies are that are going to be provided throughout the course of the rest of the work. Here's one example that uses this strategy and sentence frame. Smoking is a problem that can be overcome with medical and psychological treatment. You look at the example. What's the problem? What is the overcome? And what is the solution or strategy that's provided? Take a moment and just see if you can figure out which one is which. All right, here's your answer. So smoking is a problem. So smoking is the problem itself, and obviously it could be even more precise. Smoking that's underage, smoking of a certain age, the addiction content of smoking, but smoking is a problem that can be overcome indicates that we're moving in a direction. It gives you a sense of a verb. And then the medical and psychological treatment indicates the solution or strategy that's applied to it. Second example uses the same format. So the problem is, although debt is a challenge faced by many people, notice the typo there. So instead of problem, use the word challenge. There are strategies we can use to help ourselves. That's the overcome piece of it. And then the actual strategies would be, here's a list or suggestions, such as making a budget and not using credit cards. So again, the and indicates there are two solutions or strategies. And we don't use the word problem, we use challenge, which is something you can choose to do. There are many synonyms you can find on thesaurus.com, for example. So there are some additional examples here you can look at if you want to pause the video and kind of see how that works. How could they be changed? Do we have problem, overcome, and solution? And some more here as well. You can work together or on your own.